What if your greatest strength was also your most devastating curse? Imagine having the power to shatter mountains with a whisper, but being forced to live in absolute silence to protect everyone you love. This is the burden of Black Bolt, the silent king of the Inhumans. His story isn't just about power, it's about the crushing weight of the restraint and the agony of a leader who can never, ever speak his mind. Today, we unravel the story of the king whose silence is louder than any scream. Welcome back to Marvel Echoes Resonance. I'm Will, and today we're going to talk about one of the most unique and compelling characters in the entire Marvel tapestry, Blackagar Boltagon, better known as Black Bolt. His origin in pure cosmic tragedy, something straight out of Greek myth. He wasn't a scientist who had an accident or a soldier who volunteered for a serum. He was born into his power. The Inhumans, if you're new to them, is a society of genetically altered humans created millennia ago by the alien Kree. They unlock their powers through a process called Terrigenesis. Think of it like the X-Men's mutant gene, but it needs a catalyst, the Terrigen mists, to activate it. Black Bolt's parents, two of Attilan's top geneticists, exposed him to the mist while he was still in the womb. The result? A child born with a voice so powerful, so catastrophically destructive, that his first infant cry unleashed enough energy to rock an entire city. To protect everyone, his father, King Agony, placed him inside of a soundproof, energy-dampening chamber. He spent the first 19 years of his life in total isolation, learning to control every muscle in his body, mastering the art of absolute silence. It's a level of self-control that is almost impossible to comprehend. He couldn't laugh, he couldn't cry out loud, couldn't even whisper without risking annihilation. When he was finally released, his younger brother Maximus, who, it's worth noting, had his own mental powers and deep-seated jealousy, immediately tried to goad him into speaking. The idea was to prove that Black Bolt was too dangerous to ever rule. In a moment of tragic irony, Black Bolt spotted a Kree spy ship, and in trying to stop it, he let out a tiny, forbidden utterance. That whisper was enough. The sonic blast brought down the ship, but it also accidentally killed his parents. Talk about a heavy burden. He ascends to the throne not through triumph, but in grief and guilt. And from that moment on, his reign is defined by that silence. He rules alongside his royal family. His queen, Medusa, can telepathically interpret his slightest gestures and serves as his voice. Gorgon, the powerhouse with hooves. Karnak, the martial artist who can see the flaw in all things. They're his council and his family. But the final burden is his alone. The first major interaction with the Marvel Universe comes, as so many do, with the Fantastic Four. When Medusa flees Attilan, it brings Reed Richards and his team to their doorstep, and then suddenly this hidden, isolated society is thrust into the world stage. And leading them is a king who rules with an iron will, a heavy heart, and a voice that could end the world. So with that foundation, where has Black Bolt's silent journey taken him into the modern era? Well, a sense of duty led him to join one of the most influential and morally gray groups in Marvel history, the Illuminati. Along with Iron Man, Professor Xavier, Doctor Strange, and Reed Richards, he made decisions in secret that shaped the fate of the entire planet. And you can just imagine the power dynamic in these meetings, a room full of egos, and one guy who never speaks is arguably the most powerful one there. His silent vote carried the weight of a nuclear deterrent. As we talked about in a Reed Richards episode, this group's actions often had catastrophic ripple effects, and Black Bolt was right in the middle of it. His story takes a more aggressive turn in the 2000s. During the Silent War storyline, the US government steals the Inhumans' sacred Terrigen crystals. Black Bolt's response is swift and terrifying. He declares war on the United States. This isn't a defensive posture, it's a full-on assault. For the first time, we see him use his voice as a strategic weapon of war, and it's absolutely devastating. It's a raw look at what happens when you push a man who values control above all else past his breaking point. This escalation continues into the cosmic scene with the War of Kings. Here, Black Bolt leads the Inhumans to take control of the entire Kree Empire, becoming a galactic emperor. He goes head-to-head with Vulcan, who is the unhinged mutant ruler of the Shi'ar Empire. The war culminates in Black Bolt making an impossible choice. He detonates a weapon that tears a hole in space-time itself, the Fault, believed to have killed them both. He sacrificed himself to end a galactic conflict, showing just how far he'd come from a reluctant king of a hidden city. Of course, this is comics. Nobody stays dead for long, but his most significant modern act comes from the Infinity event. Facing down Thanos, he has to come to Earth to kill his secret Inhuman son. Black Bolt unleashes his full power. He detonates a Terrigen Bomb in Earth's atmosphere, which unleashes the mist across the entire globe. The single act activates latent Inhuman genes in thousands of people, creating a new generation of Inhumans, most famously Miss Marvel, who we talked about in a previous episode. It is a departure, a world-altering decision that forever changed his people's destiny, but also created chaos. The same mist which transformed humans into Inhumans was deadly to mutants. This conflict would come to a head in the Inhumans vs. X-Men event. More recently, his story has been one of profound loss. The death of the Inhumans storyline saw his people hunted to near extinction, and Black Bolt himself was broken and forced into a torturous imprisonment. For a time, the Silent King was quieter than ever, a wandering ruler without a people. But a king's duty is never truly done. As we look forward towards the events of late 2025 and into 2026, the Inhumans are poised for a major return in the upcoming Imperial storyline. Black Bolt's story is taking another turn, pulling him back from the galactic stage. His period of mourning and loss appears to be over, and the Silent King is set to once again lead his people into a new, yet uncertain future. So I'll leave you with this question. Is Black Bolt's silence a symbol of his strength and control, or is it an ultimate prison, preventing him from ever truly connecting with his people and the world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for listening to this episode of Marvel Echoes Resonance. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Black Bolt, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our episodes. If you'd like to give us a like or leave a comment on what you would like to see in future episodes, do that below. If you want more information on Black Bolt and the Inhumans, make sure you check out the link to our website below. Till next time, true believers, make mine Marvel.